We're live.
Cool.
We apologize for the temporary delay.
Right? Google Hangouts was definitely having some technical difficulties today. All right, you guys, I guess there's three of you who are here all the time. One of you is new. Introduce yourselves while I get everything set up on Instagram and all that. It's a big one. So
Where are we setting up? Where are we starting with? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you know, I'm Code Blast.
While other disruptors are looking to colonize Mars,
You'll know me as the guy with the so-called bad home park. All right, next.
Fluffy?
Oh, am I not presenting my screen?
No, you are. You are.
You can see it.
Yeah.
No, wait, can you?
No, you're not.
I'm presenting
you are on
Matthew.
the Google Hangouts.
You were. Okay.
Fluffy?
Yeah, Fluffy. Go.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll go. I'm Fluffy. I've been here a few times, of course. And oh wow, look at the time. So I said if we could wait until 5:45 because I didn't know if I was gonna come back in time from fireworks shopping. So I asked them to extend it to 5:45, and here we are now. Even though they said that they didn't want to.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. Those technical difficulties.
Right.
Fluffy.
Thank you, Google Hangouts.
Yes.
All right, Matthew.
Sure. I'm Matthew, also known as Thrill Corner on Instagram. My home park is also kind of bad. It's Lake Compounds, but I have Boulder Dash in my backyard, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is my first stream, hopefully the first of multiple. And yeah.
You're the first person I met with a worse home park.
Oh.
Wait, what's your home park?
Laurent.
Okay. Okay, I could argue about that, but
We'll save the shade for Discord later.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And,
Also, can we? Oh, sorry, Eastern. I'll let you finish first.
Oh, it's okay. I'm Eastern. You guys know me. My home park is Six Flags Great Adventure, and I'm known as Eastern Thrills on Instagram. What's up?
Awesome.
Alright,
and everyone
so-
knows me.
Yeah.
Can
Alright,
we
we're
just
right
note
into
the
it.
fact that we're already at 31 viewers, and we just started the introductions.
That's pretty good.
All right,
Yep.
so we're going to get into it. This is a new concept I'm doing. It's called Control Our Videos. So on our Instagram story polls, we're going to do, so for example, if I'm doing a video about Cedar Point, I'll post, the two most popular ideas, and you guys vote. And let's say I take one particular stance and you guys vote the other particular stance. I will present a devil's advocate in my video, kind of explaining what you guys voted for as, the people watching, the viewers, and I have to present both ideas equally. So definitely go on over to Instagram. I'm using Insiders on Instagram and vote in our polls that we have up there. Hopefully you guys like that idea. I think it's pretty cool. And I just want the videos to be more like centered instead of being biased like a lot of YouTube channels. So that's kind of an idea I'm trying to get out just to make it more like well-rounded. But let's get right into it. So Carowinds, thanks to FG Photographs on Instagram, we've spotted the blueprints, and the blueprints confirmed by multitudes of people who have been seeing them. They're right out in the open. I got confirmation from someone even today that the blueprints are still there. They're still there. I would think that someone would remove these from public eye where they drilled holes. And I don't know if you saw my Carowinds update, but I just find it so hilarious that the blueprints are literally right where they just drilled a big hole for people to peek through. And a lot of people were speculating that maybe the blueprints are fake because of that, but they definitely match up perfectly to what was leaked a while ago. So as you can see here, you can see what I'm assuming is a JoJo roll out of the station before launch. Correct me, any one of you, if I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this because I did a whole video on it, so we'll go one by one. Coblast, what do you think?
I think the first inversion could be something similar to Helix, where it drops out of the station and then has a corkscrew. But then again, like where the station was on the speculation or the initial leak that we got, it looks too close to have that. So that's like my only thing that I have for that one.
Oh my god, I can't keep up with the chat. What about you, Eastern?
Well, this looks from what I've seen and from what we've seen with the blueprints, it looks pretty similar to the leak that happened a little while back. And overall, we know it's going to be Mac. It's going to be great. And yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Fluffy?
Well, I just saw a comment that would be really cool, and I'll note that out. Case and Anthony said, "What if the JoJo roll is in a barn and then it hangs you over copperhead snakes?"
Oh,
That would be an amazing.
That'd be cool.
That would be an amazing thing, and yeah, we've seen these match up, but let's just point out the obvious. Carowinds
Who said
made
that?
a major boo-boo. Case and Anthony said that.
Oh, sweet. Good idea. I just wanted to call them out for that. That was brilliant. Keep going, Fluffy. That was my bad.
Well, no, I was just actually finishing that.
Oh, okay. And then Matthew, what do you think about all this?
I mean, the fact that it matches up with the original leak exactly, it probably is true. What's with Cedar Fair and not being able to hold back secrets? Like, first we have Canada's Wonderland, and now this. Look at all these leaks. But honestly, this is what Carowinds needs, a good launch coaster, and it's going to be a great fit for the park.
For sure.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. They're not pulling a Six Flags, like waiting until February to at least start the construction. I mean, we're gonna find out before they even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're Fiesta Texas, then
Yeah.
you release it like 3 days before Rail plays or Cry Face.
For sure. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you, Carowinds fans especially. You guys have been sending me nonstop content on construction updates, so I cannot and could not do the updates I'm doing without you. Continue to send it in. Honestly, I love it. Glad that I'm expanding outside of Canada's Wonderland. I guess we'll move on. Oh, there's more. So on these blueprints, someone confirmed that the word county was on it, which could kind of confirm, and I don't know if you looked there, but you can kind of see logos a little bit, which looks like also a structure. I can't really make it out. So maybe that barn idea and / concept really is going to happen. Do any of you have any to comment on that? The possible theme maybe with the teasers and all that?
I mean, if it related to Mystic Timbers in some way, it'd be pretty cool. Like Cedar Fair backstories just all weaving together. It'd be pretty cool.
I mean, that could actually happen where they actually tie in a bunch of different storylines that we think that are nowhere near the same, but they all just tie in together. That would be something next level for Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
We know that they want to try and bring back a bit of theming, but nobody would expect this kind of theming where they create a whole storyline to have their next to have 2 to 3 years worth of coasters have a similar storyline and share a storyline.
Yeah.
And that would be just out of this world theming for Cedar Fair. So if that ends up happening, congratulations, Cedar Fair.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool if they give references. Like, for example, Twisted Timbers had some references to Mystic Timbers, and if Copperhead Strike is the same thing, I think that'll also be pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Oh, all right.
Ooh.
So thanks to Bio Reconstruct on Twitter. I've been following this guy for a long time now, and he is allowing me to use his content in a couple of videos. So this is kind of a teaser to a video that I'm really working hard on because I want it to be a really strong, good video. I sounded like, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. But I didn't realize how large of a scale this project was. Take into account, I just blocked out 1/3 of it in the corner there. But this project, including ride buildings, which I don't even know what's going on in some of these buildings, it looks epic. It looks like this is going to be if this is opening in 2019, this, even if it's a family coaster, in my opinion, will win Best New Attraction of 2019.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I mean, this is a lot to look at.
I'm just staring at this dual loading station. You can tell it's going to be a high capacity ride.
Oh yeah.
But It's also interesting how it's going under the station there with some sort of launch or maybe brake run of some sort, and then a launch.
Yeah, and look at the track up there
Mhm.
in that building.
Yeah, it's also real. Actually, no, it's definitely a launch coaster. You can see another section exactly like that on the other side. What type of coaster do you guys think this is?
I heard that it's going to be a motorbike type of coaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's gonna,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's gonna have like where like it's gonna have like a backwards launch sort of section. So
Like a wave breaker, but better.
Mhm.
I just can't help but look at this one element close to the bioconstruct. It looks like it turns one way, and it looks like it turns you the other way, like pretty quickly, and it looks like an awesome element.
It has like,
Like-
a trick track.
Yeah.
Let me speak around.
Oh.
I can't help but notice.
Oh, you're echoing.
Yeah, who's echoing?
That's you.
Me?
I think it's fixed. Oh,
Okay.
no, it's not.
Okay. I can't help but notice at the bottom right, there's some sort of pretty good banking going on and a
Yeah.
big left-hand turn. That looks pretty nice. I don't know what that's going to lead to, but if we see more of that throughout the ride, that'll be really nice.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This looks like an Intamin coaster or a mock.
It does look like Intamin.
Yeah.
Intamin.
Those
Intamin.
transitions-
it's Intamin.
Yeah.
Those square supports are similar to the ones on Wavebreaker.
All right. Anything else to say about this?
What do you guys think that this coaster will end up being? Like what type and what model? Put it down in the chat.
Yes.
Man, I
We
don't
want to
know.
get you guys involved.
I definitely agree. It's gonna be
55 viewers.
Hagrid's bike.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. That's the most
Yeah,
logical
Hagrid's bike,
explanation.
definitely.
Honestly, from what
Alright.
I'm seeing now, it looks like it's going to be a worthy replacement of Dragon Challenge.
Yeah, agreed.
It might not be a B&M, but still, like what we see so far and knowing what Universal does, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
They said this was going to be one of the most immersive experiences they've ever created, so I'm really excited.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
a very controversial question to you guys. Do you think this looks like
Uh-oh.
it could beat out any Disney attraction? Because I'm about to answer and shooketh everyone. But this to me looks way better than any Disney attraction.
Yes.
Anything
Not
I've
gonna
seen by
lie,
far.
I'd say yes, and I'm a pretty big Disney fanboy, so
Same.
yeah.
Oh, I just noticed something. There's a little like launch. You can tell it's one of those Intamin coasters. Like, God, what's that name? What's the name of that coaster? Soaring with Dragons. You
Yeah,
can see there's a spike there that it launches you up, and it's going to launch you elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
Probably straightforward.
it's just combining so many elements like launches and a spike, and there have been rumors of a drop track. It's just this is going to be one heck of a ride.
You can almost see
Could it
where
be
the
a
drop
hot
track
track?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure.
yeah, right over there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Wow.
again, there's going to be a really epic video that I'm working really hard on. I don't want to make it like a 2-day edit project like I normally do or a 1 day. I want to make this like a good one because it deserves it. But also, same person looks like they're storing track over in their expansion area for Universal. So there's still some track being stored over there. There isn't really much to say about this. So we'll just move on. Kennywood.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
One number
This
left.
coaster is probably one of the best kept secrets so far, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me down below,
Yeah.
as
Yep.
usual. But
I agree.
they have done a great job at keeping this a secret, and I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone else. Trust me, I'm one of the people responsible for ruining secrets elsewhere, but I don't even know where to begin with guessing what this coaster is. I've heard everything now. I've heard dive coaster, I've heard mock, I've heard Intamin, I've heard wooden coaster. In fact, I think I was the person that said wooden coaster, then everyone was like, "You're dumb," which is fair. But yeah, like I'm gonna leave this to you guys because I'm gonna play the GP card here. I have no idea what this coaster is, and I don't even know where to begin. But one by one, you guys go over the facts that they've released and discuss them. All right, we'll start with you, Koblast.
So, I just had something occur to me just staring at all the numbers, except for the last one, which we don't know. I feel like they apply to different rides in the park in some way. Like, 220, wasn't that the drop for Steel Phantom?
I'll fact check you on that.
I think it was 220, 228. I'm pretty sure. It
Yeah,
was
fact check me on that, but I feel like that was the drop for Steel Phantom. 3, that could be referring to how many trains they're going to run on either this or on a different coaster in the park. 9, same thing. 197 could be the height of something in the park as well. Like, you never know.
Steel Phantom drop was 225.
Okay, yeah.
226.
Okay.
I searched.
But, yeah, I don't think the numbers really represent this attraction. I feel like it's a culmination of what they're trying to get to, and the last number will reveal all of what the ride's going to be. But what about you, Eastern?
That was a pretty detailed thought, but I kind of think that these numbers are like related to the coaster. Now, every number before 50, I thought it would have been either like like a Mac Hyper or like something from like not Intamin, but Vekoma or SNS rather is the company I'm talking about. Like it being a dive coaster or like a larger Soaring with Dragons, or I've even heard the Karnan rumor that it could be something similar to that. And 50 comes around, and now I have no clue. Now, some of the popular rumors that we're hearing with some of these numbers, for example, 197 and 220, that a lot of people are believing that has something to do with the drop of the coaster. 24. A lot of people are saying are the capacity of the train, so you can seat 24 riders in a train. 120, a lot of people were saying would be the ride duration. 75, where people were saying that this was going to be the miles per hour range, so 75 miles per hour. Three people were stating that it would be the amount of inversions, and 9, I believe people were saying was airtime moments. But at this point, all I can say is that at this point, I have no clue what it's going to be anymore.
I want to read out Theme Park Crazy's comments. Someone's got their speakers on.
I'm going to accuse Fluffy.
I hate to say this,
I've got,
but yes, I still think, I hate to say this, but yes, I still think it's going to be something like Soaring with Dragon. It's a long explanation, but a triple launch seems very likely, considering the many speed/height stats. And he's not the first person that I've heard that from, so I can see that being a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure. At this point, anything's possible because I don't think any of us know what type of ghost this is going to be anymore.
All right, keep going down the line because I inserted myself there.
Well, I'm kerfuffled. I am. You know, every time they release a number, you know, we think one thing, and then they release another number, and then we think another one. This has so far been the most kept coaster secret of 2019, like a 2019 coaster that we've probably we're all kerfuffled. I mean,
My word.
Yeah.
Brendan, you should trademark that.
I mean, every time they come out with a number, it's one thing, and then they come out with another, it's another thing. They're throwing us in so many different directions. They're just like, they're masters at this. I mean, they've even said that that it's not an RMC, or like they just put like it's not.
Oh. Kennywood is silencing him.
Technical difficulties number
Fluffy, you
2.
good there?
Fluffy, you cut out just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a bit. Oh.
I just don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody knows. I mean, except the park, of course. But whatever this is, whatever that last number is, I still don't think that last number will even give us remotely even close. I don't think it'll tell us what it's going to be at the slightest. I don't think that last number is going to be like it's not going to give it away. Like because we're still a ways out because obviously they're most likely going to announce it on National Roller Coaster Day like every park does.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, because we're a while out from National Roller Coaster Day, who knows? We might be seeing another card, depending on when this next number is revealed.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
we might be getting another card. I don't know. This kerfuffles me.
Matthew, what do you think?
I'm still sticking with the SNS rumor. I've had somebody who's pretty reliable tell me it's going to be an SNS custom multi-looper. You can take that with a grain of salt, if you want. I'm gonna believe that. As for timing, I bet the last number is going to be released by the end of this week, and either they're going to keep teasing or they might release some details at KennyCon for all we know, which is a big Ace event at Kennywood on July 21st. So maybe the announcement will match up with that. I don't know. All I know is this is probably going to be one of the most anticipated coasters for 2019 when it's revealed.
Offended. No, I'm kidding. So you brought up a good conversation I want to talk about before we move on. When are they going to announce this? Because so if this is the card and the only card, and Fluffy brought up a good point, maybe there's a second card. But if this is the only card, then maybe we're looking at an announcement this week or next week. And I want to explain why that might be plausible. So, you know, with a coaster like the Canada's Wonderland one that's getting decently hyped up now, and, you know, Carowinds coaster is getting like really hyped up too. Maybe Kennywood's like, you know what, we need our coaster to shine. And we've seen this by Six Flags before. So maybe we need an earlier announcement to give it the light it deserves.
Yeah.
Opposed to announcing it with all these other big attractions and it might get overshadowed.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I could honestly see that happening, especially since 2019 is looking to be such a big year with Wonderland. Wonderland, Carowinds,
Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain, even, you know, American Dream. Don't forget about that park.
Oh boy.
All of them are looking to be, all of them are looking to be, you know, having all these big attractions, and, you know, they might want to do that way. It's like, oh well, they don't get, you know, thrown underneath by like Wonderland and Carowinds and all that stuff. So I definitely think we could possibly see an earlier announcement.
All right. Wow. Okay. First off, theme park crazy with the super chat.
So I'm gonna read it. So also Kennywood sent Ace Western Pennsylvania a fortune cookie to tease it. Soaring with Dragon is Chinese, so it may be that. Last number is announcement date. Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe.
Or maybe the announcement date's in here. No. Oh, 9? 9/24, 9/3. Who knows?
No, because 8.
No, they said
is
ride facts, right?
August.
And they said
Yeah.
these numbers
Yeah.
were all ride stats, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it. I think 2019 has the potential as an overall year for coasters to be better than 2018, and this was like the best year in a very long time. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. Wow, that was a big conversation. So, okay, this one's another big topic. I mean, Hyperion, in my opinion, wasn't really on my radar, and it should have been. But Hyperion has begun testing, and it looks really epic. And this brings up a good conversation because you have Team Hyperion and you have Team Steel Vengeance, which we won't really get into because I'm not going to be able to ride Hyperion this year. So I can't comment on which one's better, nor can any of us really. But Hyperion looks great. I mean, I wasn't expecting theming, and with theming, this coaster looks absolutely amazing. I mean, this is definitely going to be probably the best of its class, for sure. I mean, look, it's so tight. It's like, honestly, Intamin's maybe, like, and all of you know how hard this is for me to say, but maybe Intamin is making a comeback. And I mean, this is exciting because I wasn't expecting this. This looks phenomenal. It sounds really smooth. It doesn't like look like it has any problems like you would typically maybe expect from Intamin's past. But what do you guys think? You guys comment down below and I'll respond and read. And then you got starting with Coblast. What do you think?
I'm just going to throw out one, and don't hate me for it, but I think the ride is very short. That being said, it still looks amazing, and it caught my eye just now on how well it looks. And a couple of days ago, I saw it testing. It's probably the first Intamin in a long time that has a chain lift, besides like the vertical lift coasters or the water coasters. But it just moves well. It's very well paced. It goes through decently high capacity train and a new train on that hand. I just think it's going to turn out pretty well. A lot of people are probably going to flock down to Energylandia within the next 2, 3, maybe 5, 10 years to go and ride this thing and other rides they have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what about you, Eastern?
So for like Hyperion, I literally can't hate on this coaster. If you know me, you know my top 5, and Skyrush basically is a mini Hyperion in a sense. And overall, this coaster just looks amazing. The airtime looks great. You know, everyone just has to remember that this is the first like testing, you know, video of it, so you can't really like comment on the pacing too much. But the elements look amazing. Once it like really gets going and it has more runs, and it'll probably run even better. And yeah, I agree with you, Code Blast. People will be coming down for the next 5-10 years just to experience this. What about you, Fluffy?
I mean, wait, this is 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's already summer, so it really looks like it's gonna be an amazing ride. And yeah, what Eastern said, this was the very first test, and this was the first test, so we can't really judge it on it right now. We have to let it test some more and then see how it runs like constantly. And yeah, this is, I don't know. I mean, once we actually have some enthusiasts ride it, and once it opens up and a lot of people start riding it, I feel like we're gonna have another big debate on Team Steel Vengeance or Team Hyperion, like when they were back when Hyperion was announced.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. I think Hyperion is going to easily be one of the best coasters in Europe. I mean, its layout looks fantastic. Some of those curves in the bankings, it all looks amazing. And especially when you consider that Energylandia has a great new generation of Vekoma already, and they're getting that great RMC in a few years. That looks absolutely insane and could probably give Steel Vengeance a run for its money. I think in a few years, we're looking at a world-class park with some awesome rides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. I guess that's it for Hyperion.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
yes.
whoops.
Here we go.
Okay, let's go big. Hopefully my mic is working. Yes, I think I need to get a new mic at this point. I always thought it was internet problems, but it looks like it might actually be mic problems.
And there it goes again.
So I'm going to talk very little then if I'm having mic problems because I don't want this to ruin the stream. But Magic Mountain has clearly started somewhat teasing for their 2019 coaster. And it looks like it could be a mock coaster from what we're hearing and seeing over at Mock and in the coaster community. So what do you guys think about this project, and what do you think it's going to be? And do you think it's going to outdo Carowinds mock coaster if it's a mock coaster? Go Blast.
I'm just going to say the area that they're showing us is huge. and it engulfs everything that was there. So Deja Vu used to be there. Now it's just rotting away at New England. Apocalypse is there. I have a feeling that might be closed for a while if it's not already closed. But yeah, this is going to be a huge project. We're going to hear a lot about it in the future. In terms of it outdoing Carowinds Coaster, it's really hard to tell at this point. If it takes up the whole area besides where Apocalypse is, then yes, definitely. It's a very long ride and a very, not necessarily drawn out, but like very intense experience and very long inverting coaster. Otherwise, I don't know. If it's going to take up a small area where the where I'm thinking the shoot is, I've never been there, so I don't know, then probably not, but it's hard to tell.
Kobas, to answer your question, the shoots is over by Riddler's Revenge. And,
it's on the other side of the
Lantern.
speedway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Never mind.
Wait. Yeah. So at this point, we know it's most likely going to be a mat coaster, from Magic Mountain. Which, speaking on Six Flags, I think that's a really good thing because that shows that Six Flags might be in a better state for adding in coasters. Because, in the past couple of years, we haven't really seen anything over $15 million. And if they're able to put in like coasters that are more and like more unique, now yes, this is Magic Mountain, but the fact that they're spending more money on coasters and all that, I think could be a very good sign for the chain. As to whether it will be like a Mac Hyper or a just regular Mac multi-launch, I think it could be either or because people are saying that DC Rivals was 22 million and this coaster, Mac coaster is supposed to be around 20 million. So I definitely think that it's possible. And I mean, honestly, I just think it could be either or, but nevertheless, I think it'll be a great ride because it's from Mac.
Well, I'm going to keep this short because my dog's growling right now, so she's probably about to bark. This takes up a lot of hush. See, I bet you can hear it.
She doesn't like Six Flags.
I guess not. So this takes up Apocalypse's area, Slingshot's area, and shops and buildings areas, and Apocalypse, it's tough for it because it did just go down quite a bit ago, and this, I personally, I mean, we don't even, I don't know. We don't really know much of this project. I mean, for who knows? This might not even be for a coaster. Who knows? They might just be doing a renovation of the whole area, and they need to close it. I mean, we really don't know anything about this, and we'll have to wait and see until we get some sort of teaser.
Oh, Fluffy, I wish I put you last now because what you just said, it would have worked smoothly into the next slide. But okay, you go, Matthew.
Well, okay, so I want to go back to the video, just talking about it, that Brendan posted for CGA. In that video, they said, and then they were showing the track or whatever they were showing, they said that it was for a Mac Big 8. I am 90% sure that they're talking about a Big Dipper as Big Dipper car seat 8 people. They said it was for a park in California, and obviously it's too early for this to be CGA, because that's probably 2020. And they said it was going to be about $20 million, which is expensive for a ride of that type. And if it was expensive for a ride of that type, it wouldn't be a Hyper, because that'd probably be pretty cheap for a Mac Hyper. But something like Lost Gravity, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was about 15, 16 million. That would make sense. So my mind, I'm predicting a Big Dipper for that area in 2019.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you a chance to respond because some people are saying that, Theme Park Crazy is saying, wouldn't that have low capacity?
It would. But, yeah, I mean, their last coaster, Twisted Colossus, is pretty high capacity, but then again, they have stuff like Green Lantern, so I don't know.
True.
So we'll see what happens.
We also did just see them put into Fiesta Texas a Raptor, so you know.
Yeah, good point.
All right, so we're Fluffy just ended.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yep, coming off of Matthew. No, actually, it's Eastern.
No, it's not me. It's not me.
I'm so confused.
Coming.
I'm confused.
No,
Google
you're supposed to say
Hangouts
you're
does not
confirmed.
like us today.
No, it really doesn't.
All right.
Oh,
So, I'm making a video on this. This is actually one of my most exciting videos I'm producing right now. It is Six Flags Magic Mountain versus Cedar Point. It is all about the coaster wars and are they starting again? In my opinion, you'll have to wait for the video. So I'll let you guys go into that. What do you think about the coaster wars? And do you think Cedar Point and Six Flags are about to go head to head again? We'll start with you, Coblast.
So, I feel like if the coaster wars start now, it's not going to be going for the tallest attraction anymore. It'll be going for the wildest, craziest rides they can think of, kind of like how Steel Vengeance went just now. So maybe a lot more parks are thinking of, oh, how are we going to top Steel Vengeance or Hyperion or any other super intense ride like that? In terms of the choices you picked, I love them. Blue Fire looks amazing. Renegade looks cool. If that's Renegade, I don't know.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. Okay. But yeah, if they keep going wilder, that's what's the next coaster war is going to be, in my opinion. Eastern.
Wait. First, let me ask. Am I echoing?
No, you're good.
Not anymore.
Okay. Six Flags Magic Mountain versus Cedar Point. I think the coaster wars might be happening again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Six Flags Magic Mountain and Cedar Point are, you know, as we know, they're like the biggest competitors for coasters. Magic Mountain is trying to hit 20 coasters, and Cedar Point is just trying to beat Magic Mountain and everything. I think both a Mac would be great for Magic Mountain, and a GCI or Flyer, or you know, whatever it is, or a polar coaster. Would be great for Cedar Point. But I definitely do think that coaster wars might be happening again.
Mm-hmm. And
Short
you, Fluffy?
and sweet. No comment.
Oh.
Ooh, jeez.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's easy to argue, and it's true that Cedar Point has undeniably won the past few years. I mean, with rides like Valraven and Rougarou and so obviously Steel Vengeance. And I feel like if Magic Mountain's going to want to defend its title as amusement park with the most roller coasters in the world, it's going to have to fight for it. And I bet the coaster wars will restart for that reason.
Yeah, it's crazy to think what's going to happen with these two parks. Six Flags Magic Mountain has a head start, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed for them, that this next coaster is going to be insane. I mean, I don't know if that's a teaser in itself, how much land they put there on purpose in the image, but I'm hoping it's insane. What were you going to say, Fluffy?
Rest in peace, Eastern, first off. Second off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he left. Oh, welcome back, Eastern.
He's back. Hi, Eastern.
Okay, and you have to remember, the coaster wars, it just wasn't these two parks. It was a ton of parks. And so it can be a ton of parks again. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be just these two parks. I mean, Canada's Wonderland, Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags Great America, all of these parks can get involved in this great big coaster war too.
Yeah.
I mean, even international parks, they can they can actually do it. Like Energylandia, who knows? That might be a part of this soon. With the way that they're going. So I mean, this is yeah, this is gonna be. I think it's gonna be bigger than the original Coaster Wars. Obviously, that started with Magnum XL 200, the very first hyper coaster ever, and I think it'll finish with. To be honest, I feel like this could this coaster war could possibly finish with a polar coaster, if that's even going to be possible. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's going to definitely finish with a very, very huge bang. And I think I think it. To be honest, I think it started with Steel Vengeance.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
Yep.
So let's all blame Steel Vengeance.
Yeah.
I think this is great. I think a coaster war is great. I do disagree with you, Fluffy, though. I don't think it's going to include other parks. I think at this point, Six Flags Magic Mountain and Cedar Point are just going to compete against each other. Cedar Fair has always said quality over quantity. But I think with Cedar Point, we're going to see a lot of coasters in the next coming years.
Yeah, and if I can say something, the Six Flags Magic Mountain and Cedar Point probably are the two parks that'll always like have enough to actually insert coasters, because some of these parks, you know, while they might have been involved in the first Coaster Wars, like they might not like make enough income to like add coasters like constantly. It's like Magic Mountain and Cedar Point, since you know they're like bigger parks. But you know,
Well, Eastern. Remember, they don't. It's not quantity about the coasters. I mean, say Knott's, for example. I think that's going to be an okay example to give. If they get, it doesn't have to always be like it doesn't always have to top each other. It can even be as much as hype, like the hype of the coaster, how much hype it builds up, and like it's not about the coaster itself necessarily, and
Someone
and
is
which
going
parts
again.
Eastern, and which parks get which. I mean, so say we see Knott's get for whatever reason a Giga. I say for whatever reason because I know that's super unlikely, which is why I'm using it.
Fluffy, are you eating your mic?
No. I was fixing my phone though.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're definitely. I mean, if Knott's even, so I'm going to use the Knott's and Giga model for this example. If they put in a Giga after, let's say that Magic Mountain does their DC rival style coaster for, let's just say that's what it's going to be. If it's a DC style coaster or a DC rival style coaster, and we see Knott's put in a Giga, and then we see another coaster from another park just being added. I mean, basically, it's just whoever finishes. It's just. I think it's going to be more about hype and the intensity, more than how many coasters are actually put in to these parks.
So we're going to move on to the next one because this is a good conversation. We could go on hours with this, and we can't afford that. All right.
Oh boy.
No. Okay. So we're pulling out the big guns. So as many of you know, over the last couple of days, there have been two sides to a story now. So there are Giga. There's the Giga argument. There's the smaller than Valor Raven argument, and then there's the in-between argument. So our channel was slightly personally attacked in this, we'll say, secondary argument of it being smaller than Valor Raven. And as many of you know, I love people countering me. I love conversation, and whenever I present an argument, I present it with evidence. So I'm 100% okay with someone going, there's no way this is going to be larger than Valor Raven, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be smaller. No records can be broken. I love that, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent some epic evidence to you that would suggest it's going to be larger than Valor Raven. Now, I'm going to go back to the whole, is it a Giga dive? Many of you know that in all of my videos, I say, I personally don't believe it's going to be a Giga dive. There is definitely evidence there, but I do not personally see it because it is really hard to believe that Cedar Fair would go that far up from Valraven when they could just go a little bit. Like 255 to me sounds like a really great number. And I just don't see them jumping to 300 unless there was a bigger plan that we don't see yet. We do know that Canada's Wonderland's getting a hotel, and there's potential for them to become a destination park, and that would be the only reasoning I would see. Now, there is some truth, and there is some good arguments behind it being smaller than Valraven as well. And I don't want to, this video isn't to overshadow that either, because you should listen to those arguments as well, so you're not getting overhyped and then this does end up being smaller than Valraven. All I'm going to do is present the evidence that I find at the park daily, since I'm there every day. And it is up to you guys to talk amongst each other and to participate in the comments section on what you think is going on. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to quickly present all the evidence, and then we'll talk and we'll read out comments down below, because this is a great conversation. Now, again, I have seen blueprints and I do have access to the blueprints. I'm not going to show blueprints I haven't already shown. I do not want to leak anything more than what I've already leaked. This isn't because I obtained them illegally. I am in all my right to post the blueprints, but I am just going to share what I've already shared. That's all I need to share with you for you to get a better idea of what's going on. But trust me, I wouldn't be making these far outlandish comments if I didn't have somewhat of a reason to believe it. So we'll get right into it. The argument is that this coaster is going to be smaller than Valraven. In order for this dive coaster to be smaller than Valraven, it would need less than 65-meter long lift hill. So I put a 65-meter long lift hill, per se, on this map. I know the lift hill ends here where it says 65 meters. I see the final footer for it, and it needs to turn in here and dive. So that would mean the lift hill would need to start in the middle of this path. I know for sure that's not the case. The lift hill starts back here. Starts right here where the tree line is. So one would assume based off of this evidence, and again, we are assuming the angle of ascent in this predicament. In this predicament. So we did do some measurements on CAD, and CAD is pretty reliable if you have some good shots, and we feel like we had some good shots. Came out to a 45-degree angle. It actually came out to about a 45.8-degree angle. Valraven's lift hill is about 47 degrees. So it's slightly, we're assuming it's a little less than Valraven. It might actually end up being 47-degree angle, which would help our case even more. But let's assume 45. So this would make it being smaller than Valraven completely impossible, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. I'm just stating what I'm seeing every day. Come announcement day, I could very well be wrong, and I'm ready to own up to that. And I mean, that's all I have to say about owning up to it. But as you guys know in my videos, I do state every time that we don't personally believe this is going to be a Giga Dive coaster. We've given you height ranges for a reason. We are doing everything in our power to present mathematical equations to you guys based off of what we're seeing. We're not making facts up in thin air. Let's go on to our next one. So here's the lift hill blueprint. We've blurred out the rest of the blueprint for the protection of the park, and we don't want too much information getting out, but we measured up with sizing down and matching up the blueprint to its surrounding area. So for example, Barracuda Blaster and Lazy River were on this blueprint, and we perfectly matched it up, and it came out to about 90.64 meters long. Now you have to account for some room for error in that. So again, this does bring us back down to the 80 meter, so 80 to 90 meter long lift hill that we've always been saying. We're also accounting for, using CAD measurements, a 24 deep tunnel and a 105 foot long tunnel. So this again is a really long pullout. And we are stating, if you guys could respond to comments while I'm presenting this, and I'll start responding after. But we are just presenting, again, what we're seeing. So we're not confirming anything, nor do we know. And the blueprints did not say the height of them. I do not know the height of the coaster, just to clarify that. No one knows anything about this coaster. So when you see someone posting something online that they know what the coaster is, it's not true. No matter who it is, no one knows anything about this coaster. I've seen a lot of this coaster, and I'm missing a lot of information. So just to put that into perspective. So this is the part that is the biggest shutdown to this not breaking any records. So here you can see elevated level number 44, column number 44. Elevated level does not mean column, like I said in a previous video, but it does mark a footer. So an elevated level means something elevated for this coaster. So for example, theming might be elevated, but for this example, it is just a track blueprint. So everything elevated is for the coaster, and you can see that by the column matching up with the number of the elevated. So this is column number 44, left and right, marked at elevated level number 44. So it's matched up perfectly. When the ride exits, and again, I'm not stating anything new. I am not leaking any new information. If there's anyone from Wonderland in here, I'm just posting what I've already posted, which I was allowed to do because we got this on public property again. So just for anyone, we did not obtain these illegally. So do not break any rules or laws to obtain any information about a coaster. But you see column number 44 heading out towards Timberwolf's entrance. That's a really far distance. We don't know how far it goes right now from this one picture, but we do know the returning columns are marked 70s, in the 70s. So one would assume, looking right here, this is Valraven's records, support columns 51. This coaster has between 80 to 100 support columns. So based off of evidence and looking at its competitor, Valraven, one would assume that it is longer, at least, to that of Valraven. And then one would assume also that dive coasters lose speed very quickly. So one would assume this coaster is probably larger. And this is the kind of evidence that we've always been presenting to you guys. Again, we are not spitting stuff out of thin air, but we're just presenting. So then this brings up the whole conversation with all of you guys. So Kobas, we'll start with you. What do you think of everything? What do you think of the two sides of the argument? And where do you stand on the two sides of the argument?
That's a good question. I feel like how big it's going to be, we're going to have to wait and see. But all the math that's been presented to me on here is very convincing to it being larger than Valraven. Like, at this point, if someone told me it wasn't going to be, I just wouldn't believe them, but I'd agree with them anyways just to, like, make them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense. Otherwise, kudos to you for giving us the geometry lesson here in Amusement Insiders. Appreciate that.
Well, I mean, we were kind of attacked yesterday, right? We were. Someone claimed that we were pulling facts out of thin air, and I'm gonna say something again. I put a lot of work into this, and that's why I got super offended and upset. I put so much work into this. Like, we use actual software. There's a whole team of us. Even viewers have been helping us solve like equations and putting stuff together to figure out stuff about this coaster. So we are not at all pulling stuff out of thin air. Could we end up wrong? Yeah, there's a big chance we could end up wrong, for sure. And we're very honest about that. But again, there's nothing more fun than presenting things that we're seeing and then speculating about it. If there was no speculation about a coaster, it would literally be the most boring community probably in the world. I mean, speculation is like a big thing that gets the community talking. And that's why I love seeing both sides of the story. So if you guys think it's going to be smaller than Valraven, comment down below. As long as you don't attack how I'm getting my information, comment down below. I love it. All of you already know that from my video, so I'm not going to go into depth on that. But yeah, keep going. So Kobas, were you done talking? Or?
Yeah, I was done. Easton,
oh gosh, why am I always echoing? Well, I guess I'll keep this short. I think based off of like evidence and like, you know, the things on CAD and, you know, just everything that's been presented so far, I definitely think it's going to be larger than Valraven. How large? I don't know how much larger it'll be, but I do think it'll be larger than Valraven. And that's all I have to say. Yeah.
I was like confused by the conversation going down below, and then I realized it's like Six Flags versus Cedar Fair in the comment section. I was like, wait, what?
I will say, before you asked me to talk, I was very distracted by that conversation.
Right?
Right? I just started reading it. I was like, whoa.
Anyways, what about you, Fluffy?
Oh, you can totally say how you feel, Fluffy. I know that you're probably on the smaller right side.
I don't even know.
Hashtag
Come on, speculate, Fluffy.
He's confuzzled.
Play devil's advocate then.
I will speculate. I feel like it will be taller and longer than Valraven. Brendan, I think it was you who said that that the lake, like the dive under the lake or the pond would add about like 20-ish or 30 feet.
Yeah, but 24 feet is what we're guessing.
24 feet of height, or drop height, length, or whatever you want to call it. I feel like that's how it could break Valraven's record, to be honest. The only problem with it is that with the whole thing that, like, from all the prediction layouts that we're getting, with it being Valraven's height, I don't see it. From the prediction layouts that we see that it could have 2 mid-course break runs. I really don't see it having 2 mid-course break runs. So maybe
I'm gonna interrupt. We did update it, so we have a new prediction layout that came out after studying the blueprints a little more.
Oh, okay. Wait, no, that was the one with the 2 mid-courses, right?
No. Our newest one has just 1 mid-course.
Oh, okay. Yet to release, right?
It's released, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, then, never mind. Don't listen to a thing I said. I will be right back. I'm going to go watch it. Before I talk, I'll let Matthew take over, and then I'll come back once I quickly watch it, and then I can talk.
All right, Matthew.
I just agree with Eastern. I think it's going to be bigger than Valraven. If it's going to be a Giga, I literally have no idea. But I'm on the side of bigger than Valraven, and basically it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's basically it. Oh, look at this construction.
Matthew,
Thanks for doing all. Yeah.
Talk longer. I just got to the top of the lift hill.
Okay. I mean, I definitely think it'll break all the records that Valraven has. I mean, why would Cedar Fair not try to outdo themselves, especially with this big of a project with the early construction and whatnot? I think we are looking at a bigger coaster than Valraven.
Mm-hmm. Now, it could go down the unique route. Let's say, so compared to a smaller dive coaster than Valraven, I already know it's not. So I compared the support structure that I see on the blueprints to Valkyria, and it doesn't match up whatsoever. It matches literally identical to Valraven in terms of support structure for the lift and the drop. It has a very unique support structure for that. So it's definitely not going to be smaller. I could see them going same height for the, at a minimum, the same height, and then have a larger drop, and then it being longer. And then, between everyone, it seems like everyone seems to agree that this is going to be the most unique dive coaster. So even if it is the same height or smaller, it seems like everyone that's reporting on this or knows something about it is saying the most unique. So that's at least something exciting if it happens to be the same size. But again, based off of evidence that we're seeing, we're there every day. We have the angle, we have blueprints, we have blah, blah, blah. It definitely appears to be larger, but come announcement day, if I'm eating my words, please meme the crap out of me.
Will do.
Find pictures and meme the crap out of me. I want this to be the funniest kerfuffle ever when they announce it, and it happens to be smaller than Valraven.
So you guys can quote me to this. I will bake a cake with his words and make him eat it on camera.
Do it. Do it.
Do it, you won't.
All right, so I watched the video. I will say, thank God there's no second mid course. Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks. I mean, obviously Brendan can't say this, because he can't really spread out the layout, but it seems as if there's some things missing from it. That's all I'll say. Also, Eastern, the dive loop that coming out of the path, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't pass at Canada's Wonderland. I got hit by it.
Oh.
I got hit by that path.
Oh, on the coaster. Yeah, the path isn't there.
It's you just
Wait,
get
little
caught
apples
from it.
is lame.
Oh.
You're welcome, he says.
All right. Do you guys have any questions before we wrap this up then? I'll read some. The memes will roll in. Please do. Please do. There's nothing more funny than owning your own mistake.
Let's back the meme us up.
Mimi says kerfuffle. Your whole community realizes you're a meme.
Deploy the memes. Kerfuffle, eh?
Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle, confuzzle. I don't even know what else I say.
Eastern. Wow, Eastern. He said kerfuffle, eh?
If it's slower than Valraven, give it back to Cedar Point.
True.
Kennywood 2026 Mac Giga Coaster. What exposed video did you say will happen if something shady happens? No comments. It already happened. Spell I cup.
Hey,
Nice.
Eastern.
Can I respond to
I actually
Eastern. Eastern, spell I cup.
Anyone here excited for what's coming to Six Flags Great Adventure in 2019?
What ride
No,
coming to Great Adventure in 2019?
I actually want to comment on something's coming. So basically, if you saw my video that I recorded and made, basically a lot of people are speculating that Great Adventure might be getting a Raptor in 2019. It's been a popular rumor. The park president commented that 2019 for Great Adventure will be a great year, and that they're going to add something in big, and that they've been planning it and stuff like that. And a lot of people are predicting a Raptor, but we can't really say too much until we see how much is being cleared. It is July, and if you look at Wonder Woman, they started clearing that land in July. So I'm really excited to see what the park does and, what land they clear, and just to see if it'll actually be a Wonder Woman clone, or will it actually be a Skywarp, or will it be? Yeah, I'm willing to say that it'll be a Raptor, but it could be a Raptor, or it could be a Skywarp, or it could be a T-Rex for all we know, or it could be like some kiddie flat ride. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at the park on probably next Wednesday, sometime next week, so I'll get some footage if possible.
Yeah, in case anyone's wondering, like if any of you have the home park of Great Adventure, one, I go there pretty often. And number two, if you're wondering what area it's in the Golden Kingdom section. It's near Splashwater Oasis, which is rumored to be removed. So, yeah.
Who's getting Kanonin?
Six Flags.
Really?
Oh, Code Blast, do you want to talk about that? Or possibly?
Kanonin?
Yeah.
We've already talked about it. We've already gone so far on this stream. I think we should wrap this up.
No, we got
Save that one for next time.
Do the 30-second version, Code Blast.
I don't have anything to say about it at the moment.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, there it is, folks. It's official.
Awesome. So we're going to wrap this up now. Thanks for joining us on our live stream. This looks like it's been our busiest live stream yet, and they keep growing each week now. So thank you for tuning in. Send me any messages on Instagram how we can improve these. And again, go on our stories, check on Instagram. We will be doing surveys for any video that we're going to release. So we will be playing devil's advocate against ourselves.
And
All
as
right,
always, don't forget to join us on Discord if you want to talk to us on voice chat or just send us messages. That's probably the easiest way you can get hold of the rest of us.
Yep.
Yeah, we're really active on Discord, and always in voice
Really
chat.
active.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and thank you all for 91 viewers. We reached 91 viewers in this live stream.
Awesome.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, guys.
awesome.
Yeah,
Have a good one,
thank you.
guys.
See ya.
See you all later.
See you.